Let's bring in Arizona Attorney General Mark Brnovich. Always good to have you, sir. I just want to read to you from the Solicitor General. This is Biden's lawyer at the court today, and what she said. Workers are becoming seriously ill and dying because they are exposed to the virus on the job, including in widespread and well-documented workplace clusters and outbreaks. And then the argument goes on to say, if the rule remains stayed during this winter's anticipated COVID-19 surge, hundreds and potentially thousands of patients may die at hospitals, nursing homes, and other facilities participating in Medicare and Medicaid. The benefits of requiring healthcare workers to be vaccinated far outweigh any countervailing concerns. Mr. Attorney General, isn't it possible that that can be true, but that still Congress didn't give the authority to OSHA or to CMS to carry out these mandates?
Yeah, Dana. That's part of the big problem. This is not a debate about medical science. It is really, truly a debate about the Constitution. And so someone can be pro-science, but you can also be pro-Constitution. And nowhere in our Constitution does any president, Republican or Democrat, have this kind of unfettered authority and discretion. In a time of crisis, that's when we need to uphold the Constitution even more, because there's always some justification some group or some person's going to say as to why they need to trample on your individual liberties. But this is when the Constitution becomes most important. And that's why myself and my colleagues are out there pushing back against the overreach of the Biden administration, because this is a dangerous precedent, because no government should ever tell you or anyone else that they have to inject something into their body. And so we shouldn't be discussing whether this experimental vaccine works or not. We should be discussing whether the Constitution is designed to protect our individual liberty, which clearly it is.
And specifically, Attorney General, Dana brought up a good point earlier. The Wall Street Journal pointed out, look, the presidents and politicians have this habit of kind of declaring emergencies when it is politically, to their advantage. And what's to stop President Biden from issuing a mandate or an emergency on climate change or on, school loans or something like that? So that's really the problem you're focusing on.
Yeah, absolutely, Trace. I mean, there's an old saying. Lyndon Johnson used to say that if you let a bully in your front yard, the next day he's on your porch, and the day after that he's shacking up with your spouse. But LBJ used a different expression. But the point is that as we as citizens, as we as representative of our respective states cede this authority to the federal government, you will never get it back. And under the logic of the Biden administration, they can literally threaten every single person's livelihood in this country if they don't kowtow to the dictates of the federal government. And so what's next in the future? Under the guise of health care, are they going to tell contractors their employees can't eat Chicago deep dish pizza? Are they going to tell you how much, caffeine or soda you can drink every morning? I mean, so this is really, truly a dangerous precedent, this notion that the federal government under quote-unquote public health and safety is going to essentially dictate to every single American that they must do something or lose their livelihood, lose their benefits, lose their life savings. It's just fundamentally unfair. It's unconstitutional as well.
Do you have thoughts on the current makeup of the Supreme Court being different than in past years, and whether the conservative position, as your lawsuit states, will prevail?
My hope is, Dana, I learned a long time ago, and for full disclosure, I'm actually married to a federal judge, and I learned a long time ago not to predict what a judge is going to do. I've handled thousands of cases in my career, but I do believe that because the court took this case on an expedited basis, if you look at the makeup of the court, the judges that have been confirmed over the last 4 years especially, I mean, I think these are folks that understand the meaning of the Constitution, the rule of law, understand, originalism, and will make sure that the Constitution's followed. Because at the end of the day, no president has this authority. And as James Madison used to remind us, rights and powers are like two sides of the same coin. And we, the people, never ceded this kind of power to the federal government. And in protecting and trying to push back against this power overreach by the Biden administration, we are protecting all of our individual rights, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Independent, and no matter what state you live in.
Yeah. Attorney General, great insight.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for coming on.
We'll see how it goes today.
Thank you.